everyone. Welcome to Life's Journey with Benedicta. So I am live on my YouTube feed and I am live on my IG feed. So if you're not able to join in on our YouTube, you can also join in on our IG live feed. So thank you all for joining. 15. Christopher joined. Hello. Aaron Stanley. Hi. Sammy Yosunde. Hello. Mr. Senator 01. Hello. Ajiba Demumi Yedun. Thank you all for joining. This is my first time joining in. Oh, Simply Bookie. Hello. Thank you for joining in. Thank you. Sekina 009. Hi. Olu_ni, my sister. Hello. 15. Hi, I can see you. Call me _Chubol joined. Binta_Ghana, my sister. Hello. Thank you all for joining in. And on today's topic, we are going to be treating a subject that is very dear to me because I have seen a lot of people, especially I have seen a lot of women go through. I also went through it, So it is something I wouldn't want people that haven't experienced it yet to waste their lives going through it. This topic, it's very, very important. It is important for us to get the message behind it, and if you know anyone that is going through it, please, it is your responsibility to let them watch this video. How tradition and religion put pressure on people to get into a marriage. How tradition and religion put pressure on people that have no business getting married. Tradition and religion. So we have to really listen to this show, listen to this topic. I also like to have your views. I'd like you to tell me if you've had a similar experience or you know anyone that has had a similar experience. Let's talk about this. Tradition and religion put pressure on some people that do not have any business getting married into actually getting married. So we should understand that we live in a world where accomplishment for a woman has moved from what it used to be in the early 19th century. For you to be educated, you need to have some form of education. You need to be grounded in whatever field that you're majoring in. You need to have a source of income. You need to have a livelihood. You need to be able to put your goals into perspective. You are not a half being or an incomplete being looking for completion in another person. You need to be a whole person. You need to have figured out yourself before venturing into a union. And now we also have to understand that it isn't everyone that is caught out for marriage. It isn't everyone. So if we are parents, we are friends, we are relatives, are putting pressure on people to get married because they have come of age or we feel they have attained some level of financial stability and it is time for them to get married, that is a no-no. We are also a part of the problem. And this show, we are trying to educate each other. We're trying to educate one another for us to become a part of the solution, not the problem that we are facing as a society. So if you're one of those people that put pressure on another one or another person to get married, I would like you to take a few minutes and ask yourself this question. Do you really know this person? Do you really know what they want in life? We need to begin to allow people to decipher for themselves who they really are, what they really want to do with their lives. Some people, whether we like to believe it or not, are closeted gays. Some people, whether we like to believe it or not, are bisexuals. Some people, whether we like to believe it or not, love to have multiple partners. So it is not for you to decide for them that they have to get married, they must get married. We are all responsible. If we continue to put pressure on these people, we are also responsible in the calamity that we are witnessing as a nation, as a people. Because a lot of people are acting out based on peer influence, they're acting out based on family pressure, they're acting out based on societal pressure on them. If you should ask them personally, do they really want to get married? The answer might be no. They are either not ready or they have just made up their mind that they do not want to. So I don't think people should be pressured into taking that step if they are not yet ready to take that step. A lot of cultures in Nigeria, or a lot of tribes in Nigeria share the same belief that at a certain age, a woman should or must get married. At a certain age, a man must get married, whether he is emotionally ready, mentally ready, financially ready or not is irrelevant. You have come of age, you have attained some level of financial stability, you should get married. That is the next step. But that shouldn't be the questions we should be asking as family members, as friends, as citizens, as a people. We should step aside and let them decide for themselves if they really want to take the step. There are so many women that have reached me in the past, and so many have reached me this last week, telling me that they are in a relationship, or rather they're in a marriage where they have been enduring for many years. One was even asking me if it's possible for her to get a divorce in proxy. She wants to get a divorce without the husband even knowing she wants to file for a divorce. Why? Because she has been living in a relationship, or she has been living in a marriage with her husband for the past 18 years. And the husband is a closeted gay. She has been aware all this while. She has 2 boys, and she doesn't want him to know she wants to file for a divorce, but she just wants to come out of it. And she said the biggest challenge she is having is telling her parents. Because first, her mother has been telling her for the past 9 years to pray and fast, that there is nothing God cannot do, that God can change her husband. That is the biggest mistake we women do. God can change your husband. If he is a closeted gay, that is not left for you to fix. It was his decision to trick you into the union in the first place. He knew what he was doing all along, and you are paying the price for his wickedness. So if you are in a situation like this and your mother or your pastor or your family members are telling you to pray that he or she, look, my darling, nothing is going to come out of it. I'm not telling you I do not believe in the power of prayers, but I do want you to understand that it takes the person that has the problem. That is, if the person feels he or she has a problem, then that person should take it up with his maker. It is not your place as a wife to do that for him. She has been praying and fasting for the past 9 years, according to her, because that is what her mother made her do, and that is what her mother has insisted that she should do to save her marriage. So right now, she's asking me how she can get a divorce without even the husband's knowledge. She doesn't want the family members to know she wants to get a divorce. She doesn't want the husband in question to know she wants to get a divorce. I mean, how is that even possible? I told her that that is like wishing that you were fasting and praying for him to change for 9 years without any result. Is evident enough that you are going about this problem the wrong way. There was something I told her. I said, if you have been fasting and praying for the past 9 years and he hasn't changed, do you think that fasting and praying for another 9 years will make him change? That is the question. You cannot be doing the same thing repeatedly over and over again and expecting a different result. Personally, I told her she should confront her mom. She should confront her mother and tell her mother that she is an adult and she is taking this decision and she is filing for a divorce. It gets to a stage in life where we have to confront our fears and face it head on. You can't keep hiding in the shadows. You can't keep making excuses for everyone all the time. And you can't keep giving of yourself until you have no more to give. Then you have betrayed yourself. Always know that there is a difference between compromise and self-betrayal. The point at which she has gotten to now is the point where I call self-betrayal. She is betraying herself because she has compromised herself long enough. So if you happen to be in this situation, you should understand that it is time for you to take a decision that will yield a different result. Malongze underscore Ikumawoyi. I hope I pronounced it right. Tastebudz NG, don't you think the Cinderella stories are part of our problems? Well, they are part of our problems, I believe, because the Cinderella story gives us a happy ending after. But we should also understand that the Cinderella story also teaches us that for you to get your happy or your happily ever after, you have to work for it. It wasn't easy for Cinderella to land that prince. She had her own hurdles, she had her own obstacles. She also had to confront her fears. She had to stand up to her wicked stepmother and her wicked stepsisters. She had to call their bluff and walk away, because left for the wicked stepmother and the stepsisters, they were never going to allow Cinderella go free. She was more or less like their slave, and Cinderella had to break all that shackle and run away with her prince. So even the Cinderella story that tells us that there is a happily ever after also tells us that you must work hard in order for you to achieve that happily ever after. So if you are confronted with a problem like this woman, she's been in the marriage for 18 years, and for the past 9 years, she has been wanting to come out of that marriage, but her mother has prevented her. Now, for her to get her Cinderella happily ever after, she has to break those shackles of enslavement. She has to work for it. She has to make all the necessary changes, and it starts from standing up to her mom and telling her mom she is done with the fasting and praying. You want a different result, you have to approach a problem from another. Women can become you have to do more. You have to bring. So we have to start doing away with cultures and traditions, that aren't progressive. We have in our respective villages are prevent excelling in it. You have to fight. You have to do everything in your capacity to enable you to fulfill your goals in life, your aspirations. It's a work in progress. It is not just a day-old thing. It is something you have to constantly work on. Because remember, you want to be the best version of yourself, not of somebody else, of your own self. You want to be the best version of yourself. So in order for you to achieve this, you really have to do away with everything that is holding you back if you really want to attain that level of excellence that you have set out for yourself. As for parents that give us the right to pressure our children into a marriage that might be their death sentence. Exactly. They made us have the fairy tale idea about marriage. We have failed to tell our children the truth. Malongze_ikumawoyi. Yes. And it is our responsibility as parents now, or guardians, to tell our children, to tell our words, to tell the younger ones out there that there is so much in life than just getting married. There is so much. Marriage is beautiful, don't get me wrong, if done for the right reasons. Marriage is beautiful if gone into when fully prepared. Marriage is beautiful when you have something valuable, something tangible to bring to the table. Marriage is beautiful. But when you have nothing and you have no idea of who you are as a person, then you're not yet ready to go into a marital relationship. You aren't ready. Don't let anyone fool you because you have come of age, you're an adult. Don't let anyone fool you because you have some sort of financial stability. And don't let anyone fool you, especially if you know that you are closeted gay, you're bisexual, or you love to have multiple sex partners and you know there is no way in this world that you are going to be monogamous. Then there is no point going into that union. If you've not yet decided that you are ready to spend the rest of your life with just one person, to be faithful and to love just one person, there isn't any need going into that marital relationship. You're just going to be hurting someone. And maybe eventually you're going to be hurting the innocent children that will be brought into this world as a result of your union. It isn't worth it. So if you aren't prepared, please do not string another man's child along this journey. I keep wondering why a time frame is placed on women as to when the shield gets married. Hanola_Dave. Yes, the reason why is because, I don't know, coming from an African background, we believe that women have a time frame in which they have to reproduce. After a certain period, a woman cannot have babies biologically. So they want you to start making babies before you attain that age, menopausal age, where you cannot have babies anymore. So we have to educate our children, or we have to start letting them know that, look, it is really all right if you do not even want to have children. It is okay. Not everybody really wants to have children. Some want to adopt children. They don't want their body to go through that process. I have always wanted kids ever since I was a child. That is me. But I understand that some women don't even want that. And for me, every woman should have monopoly of their own body. Every woman should have monopoly of their own body. They should be able to decide if they want to have children, if they want to get pregnant, how many children they want to have. They should be able to decide if they want to be on a birth contraceptive. It is their body. They are the ones incubating. They have a right to decide what they want to do. It is not left for us to make that decision for them. So the more we educate our girl child to understand that they have the monopoly over their own bodies, they can decide what they want to do and when they want to do it. I think the pressure on marriage for women would maybe be reduced to a certain degree in this part of the world. Because the reason why women are pressured into marriage, it all has to do with procreation. Women have to, incubate those babies, have those babies before a certain age. So all of those things have changed in civilized societies. But back here in Africa, we are catching up rather slowly. But I believe that eventually we would catch up with the rest of the world. It is our responsibility to preach this to our girl children, make them understand that there is no rush. They can do these things at their own time when they feel they are comfortable to do it. They can do it. You look so much like my girlfriend from Port Harcourt. I have told her the same. Oh God, I'm looking like a lot of people these days, honestly. I got some funny DMs from different people that they think I look like them or they look like me. It's a universal world, I'm not surprised. A lot of people look alike. So back to what I was saying. So please, if you know that you are not cut out for marriage, you have made up your mind that you do not want to get married for whatever reason, do not be afraid to tell this to your family members, your loved ones, your friends. Tell them. You don't think marriage is for you. You don't think you're cut out to get married. No one should pressure you into believing that you should. If you feel that you are living a fulfilled life, you are happy just the way you are, for whatever reason, remember, as an adult, no one has the right to question your choice. Your choices, the choices that you make. If you made up your mind that you want to be single for the rest of your life, that is your cup of tea. Do not let anyone pressure you into thinking you must get married. If you've discovered that you can never be monogamous in a relationship, and as a result of that, you rather stay single, that is your decision. Do not, I repeat, do not lure anyone's child, male or female, into a marital relationship. That is witchcraft. That is the height of wickedness. Do not let yourself be pressured by societal expectations. A lot of marriages are broken today. They are broken down today because people got into these unions for the wrong reasons. They got into these unions because they were pressured by family members, they were pressured by the society, they were pressured by traditions, they were pressured by religion. Your pastor kept telling you, there's this girl sitting down there in the congregation. I saw her in a vision that she was your wife. And I want you to speak that into the earth. Speak it into the world. Claim her as your wife. And the next thing, the pastor is forcing you to be with this girl, have lunch dates with this girl. Oh, she's your wife and all of those things. And the next thing, you find yourself walking down the aisle, not because you want to, not because you're ready mentally, physically, and emotionally, not even because you are in love, but because your pastor has pressured you into doing that. Please, let religion and tradition not lead us astray. Let us be able to sit back and ask ourselves this question: what do we really want in life? What is it that will really make us feel fulfilled, feel accomplished as a human being? You don't need another person to complete you. Seriously, you don't need another person to complete you. You are a whole being yourself. You don't need another person to complete you. But remember what I said, marriage is beautiful when it is done for the right reasons. So that is it. I'm going to take comments from my YouTube, and call me _Chuboy. The last time I said it to my mom, she almost tore me to pieces. Call me _Chuboy. You told your mom you didn't want to get married. Oh, of course she's going to tear you into pieces. But you see, you really have to stand your ground. If you aren't prepared, no one should push you into it. Because at the end of the day, you are the one that is going to be in that home with that person. You're the one that is going to be waking up every morning and seeing that face in your house. And you might not be comfortable with that. So you should be the one making the call. You should be the one making the decision, not your mom, not your church pastor, not anyone from your village, from the Umuna clan or whatever clan it is. So Chubu, tell your mommy that you know what you're talking about. Parents lie to us. Well, I don't know if to say they lied to us, or if they did, it wasn't intentional. They felt they were doing it in our own best interest. They felt they were doing it to secure our future. You know, from their own perspective in that era, what they felt was security was having their daughters or their sons safely united with another being in the form of a marriage and procreating and starting their own legacy. To them, that was the greatest security they could wish for their daughter or their son. So they lied to us, not because they hated us, but I believe they did it out of ignorance. That was their own way of showing that they loved us and they cared about our future. They wanted the dynasty to go on. They wanted the family name to go on. We live in a patriarchal society here in Africa. So the family name has to go on, whether the children are in support of it or not. Binta _Ghana said, so we have the same interest. Ruha Nova _Dave, vital questions. Yeah, these are vital questions that we should be asking ourselves, and there is no one to answer these questions for us. We have to ask ourselves, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Exactly. If you feel that marriage is not your cup of tea, there is nothing wrong with that. Don't let people pressure you into making you feel that something is wrong with you, or it's a bad decision, or you're going to burn in hell for not wanting to get married. No, do it for the right reasons. As parents, does that give us the right to pressure our children into a marriage that might be their death sentence? No, it doesn't give us the right to. Religious systems has caused people to make so many wrong decisions. Exactly, decisions that are detrimental to their own well-being, decisions that are detrimental to their own progress. Yes, that's what religion can do, and that is why we have to be wary about that. I have nothing wrong with building one's spirituality. I am a spiritual being. I believe in the spiritual connection that I have with my Maker. I'm not a religious person. I do not encourage or endorse religiosity. It brings nothing but disaster, trust me. Some marry to cover their dark secrets, which eventually come out the worst way possible. Exactly. That thing you are trying so desperately to have, those skeletons in your cupboard that you're trying so desperately to hide by tricking a man or a woman into marrying you, is eventually going to come out in the open at the end of the day, and you're going to be worse off for it. You would have been better off telling people the real reason why you feel marriage isn't for you than luring someone into a union and discovering that you should never have done that in the first place. If we don't sit on our bed all day, Ruhanova_Davy, if we don't sit, problem. You both have to acknowledge that there is a problem. And when both of you agree that this is the problem and you decide to pray together concerning that problem, how on earth do you think your prayer is even going to be answered? That is a complete waste of time and energy. So if you're in that situation and you've been praying for years, oh, my wife is going to change, oh, my husband is going to change, and you know they are closeted gay, or they are bisexual, or they enjoy having multiple partners, you're going to be praying that prayer forever. I'm telling you, it's not going to work. It isn't going to work. So that is the thing I'm going to tell you today. It isn't going to work. I'm telling you from my own personal experience, it's not going to work. And it was the same thing I told this woman that's been in a marriage for 18 years. For the last 9 years, she has been trying to get out. It is not going to work. Learn from me. I prayed that prayer for many years in my life. Prayed and fasted until I almost had ulcer. It didn't work. It doesn't work. You can't be praying for someone that doesn't want to be saved. It doesn't work. So let's not be deceived. Let's not be fooled. And it is time you stood your grounds and told your mother or your pastor that you are done praying and you're filing for a divorce. I still get this DM regularly from people that tell me they do not like the fact that I am pro-divorce. It's like all I do is encourage women to file for divorce. I help women get lawyers to file for a divorce suit from their husbands. No, I help women break out from enslavement, from toxic relationships. That is what I help them do. If you know that you have fought really hard to save your marriage, you have fought really hard, you have done everything in your bid to save that marriage, and it is no longer worth saving, please exit. I'm not going to tell you to just jump on the divorce bandwagon the very first time your wife does something bad to you or your husband does something bad. No. I believe that you can sit together, discuss these problems, talk about them, try to get solution, go for counseling, exhaust every avenue for reconciliation. And if you see that it isn't working and it has become extremely toxic, please come out of it before someone dies. Some relationship has gotten so toxic that you see both couples taking themselves to the hospital every now and again to treat injuries from battery, from a previous fighting session. That is not a union. So if you have fought for your union, you have fought for your marriage until there is nothing left to fight for and it isn't working, please come out. So it isn't that I am advocating for divorce, or once your husband says you are a stupid woman or you're silly, oh, I'm going to file for a divorce. No, that's not how it works. You put in the work. Try to make it work. Stay in there. Try. Talk to the person. Call third parties. Go for counseling. Go for therapy session. Do everything. But if it isn't working, then come out of it. Both of you didn't come to this world as Siamese twins. You came separately. So you must not die and bow out of this life together. Come out of it if it's not working. Binta_Ghana said, this is insanity to do the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Exactly, it is insanity. Because you're still going to be getting the same results. Cultures are a great part as well, and religious mindsets. We have to do away with the religious mindset. Exactly. We have to do away with it. We need to change the narrative. Exactly. And how best can we change the narrative? It is by us gathering together, talking about it, educating one another, enabling people to know that, look, there is more to life than just tying the knots, especially when you're not ready. So thank you very, very much for joining us on today's topic. I hope you learned something. And if you do know anyone out there that is going through a rough patch or is in a similar situation, please tell them that praying eternally without actually making practical steps to change their situation is not going to solve the problem. So thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so, so much. Sometimes breaking shackle does not mean, yes, we're right off. Yep, exactly. So those are all the comments on today's topic. And if you haven't watched our previous episodes, it is www.youtube.com/tastebudzng. So thank you for joining in, and remember to share this video with anyone you know might be going through this situation or a similar situation like this. It is Life's Journey with Benedicta. See you same time next week, Saturday. Bye-bye.